You might already know that freelance recruiters have a huge earning potential because they earn the industry average fee of $20,000 for helping one person land a job. But do you know what it takes to earn $250,000 a year as a freelance recruiter? Well, in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 keys to making over $250,000 a year in your recruiting business, even if you don't have any prior recruiting experience or you're still working a full-time job. It's about making smart, strategic moves that I'll be sharing with you in this video, and each of the insider tactics I'll share has the potential to skyrocket your success as a freelance recruiter to the tune of $250,000 a year or more. Now, as a lot of you probably know, I spent around the last 10 years in the recruiting industry. The first 5 working at recruiting agencies before I branched out and started my own recruiting business. But back in my agency days, I remember that I did so much work for not a lot of money. In other words, whenever I made a placement, I wouldn't earn $20,000, but my agency would earn that $20,000 fee, and most of it would go to the agency owner. So I felt like I was making my boss rich. And when I would compare what I billed for the agency and what I took home on my paycheck, it was kind of disheartening. Eventually it felt soul crushing because I'd see that I'd bill $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a month for my agency, and I would take home a tiny fraction of that. Like I was working for just crumbs of the cookie. And it wasn't until I actually started my own business, became independent as a freelance recruiter, I started making 100% of the fee. So whenever I went off on my own, I was basically doing a similar type of job, except this time I was keeping all of the fee, right? I wasn't giving a lion's share to my boss, but whenever I made a $25,000 placement, I put that in my pocket. So it was phenomenal, and just that alone, going independent, really skyrocketed my earning potential and allowed me to break through that $250,000 per year mark. At any rate, I'm sharing all of that because the 5 keys I'll be sharing with you in this video are things that I learned for myself the hard way through trial and error and making lots of mistakes. And my hope is that you can take all of these keys and all of these tactics I'll share with you and apply them for yourself so you can have the same success that I did, or better, without all the painful scars along the way. All right, so the first key, and probably one of the most important, is specialization. Because one of the biggest reasons most recruiters can't earn more money is because they're trying to place candidates in any role they can find. One day they might be looking for a financial analyst, the next day they might be looking for a software engineer, after that they might be trying to recruit a director level position. While this all sounds good and the fast way to grow your business, it actually spreads you out so thin that it's impossible to build any real traction. Instead, what the smart recruiters do, the ones who are earning way more than $250,000 a year, is that they're focused on 1 or 2 key specialties or niches, right? They might focus only on finance or only on tech. This way, every job order that comes their way is focused on these type of roles. So that way they already have candidates in their pipeline full when they reach out to new clients. On the other hand, what most average recruiters do is that they have to start from scratch every time they get a new role. They have to find new candidates to place because they don't have a roster of great candidates already in the pipeline because they don't specialize. Now, by the way, if you have a niche already, or if you have a couple of niches you're leaning towards, please comment below. I'd love to see what industry you guys are focusing on, so that way as I make more content, more videos, I can really tailor them and customize them for what you guys are looking to do. Now, the second key that most successful recruiters do is that they focus on building a strong network and build professional relationships. The connections that they build can consistently turn into new client opportunities. As they build these relationships, the people they're connecting with may get an inside tip that their company is looking to hire. And since the recruiter has a relationship with them already, they're typically the ones to first get notified and asked to help fill these positions over the years. Especially with people who can make decisions for a company, these experienced, savvy recruiters understand the old saying that your network is your net worth, and they do whatever it takes to nurture these relationships over time, especially with hiring managers who are in a position to give them jobs to fill. And they also know that it takes time to build up a professional network, so they're always looking to make connections and add value to everybody that they meet. In the recruiting business, it's definitely about what you know and the skills you develop, but who you know can be just as powerful and gives a savvy recruiter a significant advantage over the average recruiter, and it shows in their yearly earnings. Hey guys, by the way, if you're finding this content helpful so far, please consider subscribing, because I'm going to be unpacking everything I've learned over the last 10 years of recruiting, not just with running my own recruiting business, but now helping over 300 people or so over the last 4 years successfully launch their own freelance recruiting businesses. All right, the third key is understanding the power of marketing and personal branding. You see, as a freelance recruiter, you don't have to look like a massive recruiting agency like Robert Half or Airtech or one of those big multi-million-dollar outfits. Instead, you want to lean into your personal brand, who you are, what makes you unique, and how you can offer white glove service to the hiring managers that you're looking to work with. At the end of the day, your clients want to know that someone will pick up the phone when they call or answer an email if they send one. They know that they can't get this level of service at a big box recruiting agency. And the way most average recruiters operate is by getting frustrated at incoming emails or taking forever to return phone calls or acting like their client owes them something. So smart recruiters are grateful for each opportunity that comes their way, and they treat their clients with professionalism and respect and a sense of urgency. And by the way, if you guys are interested, I created a free video to help you get started as a freelance recruiter. It's linked in the description below, so feel free to take a look later on. All right, the fourth key factor that most successful recruiters all have in common is maximizing client value. So what I mean by that is that average recruiters move from client to client to client because they haven't mastered the art of keeping their clients happy, right? Doing what they say they would do and delivering great candidates for their roles. Whenever their clients have to deal with frustrations, a lack of communication, bad candidates, or getting their time wasted, the chances of them asking the recruiter to help them fill more roles are slim to none. On the other hand, top performing recruiters know that if they take care of their clients, then those clients will ask them to help fill even more roles in the future. And if there's one thing you could take away from this video, let it be that savvy recruiters know that's much easier to keep their existing clients happy than it is to go out there and find new clients all the time. Finally, the fifth key that most successful recruiters all have in common is that they know that their day is limited and there's only so many hours in it. Instead of wasting time, they work to be as efficient as they can in how they approach their day-to-day work. So they really lean into automations to help them do the heavy lifting, and they get in conversations with new potential clients more often because of it. And they surround themselves with people who are smarter than they are and a little ahead of the journey. So that way they're not wasting their time trying to figure out everything on their own. And they understand that time is money, and the more time they spend just spinning their wheels instead of just asking for help or using an already proven process is time they're not out there placing candidates and making more money. And at the end of the day, these top performing recruiters know that if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. I think the best example of someone who's mastered these 5 keys is Lauren Benkovich. You might have seen her from my testimonials or my case studies, but she's an alumni of our Recruiting Accelerator program. And when I met Lauren, she was a burnt out, stressed out recruiter working for a corporation, and she really wanted to start her own recruiting business but wasn't sure how. Right? She's a great recruiter but's never done any business development, sales, or anything like that. So kind of following our process, she was able to successfully branch out on her own. She did it part-time at the beginning, and within 2 months of doing it part-time, she built $80,000 in just 60 days. And that gave her the encouragement and motivation to just quit her 9-to-5 job and really go all in. And as a result of that, by the end of 2023, she built $400,000, and she was ecstatic. And now in 2024, she's pacing $1 million in total billings, and she couldn't be happier, and I couldn't be happier for you. So Lauren did all the 5 things that we talked about, right? She focused on the niche in healthcare. She really built a strong relationship with physicians and hospital leaders and really was able to deliver great candidates. She really focused on nurturing that one relationship with a huge hospital who gave her repeat business over the months and months and months of working with her. And lastly, she also asked for help, right? She has people around her who are mentors, coaches, role models, just a huge network and a big community of people that she could tap into. So she didn't feel like she was a one-person island, kind of her against the world, doing it all alone. Anyhow, just to say that I couldn't be more proud of Lauren, and you can actually read her full write-up on my LinkedIn profile along with other people who actually had a similar journey as Lauren. All right, so to recap, if you want to become a freelance recruiter, but you want to make sure you're earning more than an average person, then there are 5 keys that the highest earning recruiters all have in common. And the first is specialize on 1 or 2 key roles or specializations, so that way you can build a strong candidate pipeline. You're not starting from scratch every time you get a new client. The second is focusing on growing your professional network, connecting with people, adding value to their lives and their businesses. Third key is to make sure you're marketing and branding yourself as someone who can be relied on, is approachable, and goes the extra mile to get the job done. Key number 4 is to maximize your lifetime client value, right? By nurturing relationships, doing what you say you're going to do, when you say you're going to do it, whether you feel like it or not, all that helps to keep clients around for the long haul. And key number 5 is to learn how to optimize your time by leveraging tools like LinkedIn and email automation, so that way that's doing the heavy lifting, not you, right? You're not spending hours and hours per day manually typing out emails or LinkedIn messages, leaving voicemails, leaving third voicemails, doing things that are just working hard but not hard and smart. All right, and now that you have the 5 keys to success as a top billing recruiter, it's time to put into action and implement it. And I built an entire framework for how you can start your own freelance recruiting business in the next 7 days, even if you have a full-time job and you have no prior recruiting experience. All of it's in this video right here. Just click on that and I'll see you in the next video.